You can get me coffee. Can you just put it in a regular mug? My Mass Effect mug, because I'm Commander Shepard, and that's my favorite mug on the Citadel. Previously on Gem and the Holograms. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Previously on Gem and the Holograms. I think this is episode 4, and I actually don't remember the name of this episode. Let me check really quick. I think it's fading to chickens, or chicken fading. No, why is it fade? No, why am I thinking that it's like, it's got the word fade in it? Or I'm thinking of another episode that we watched the other day. Hold on. Let me just check.
Me and my friends are Gem girls. Gem is my name. Truly outrageous, that's a Gem girl. Glamour, fashion, and fame. Exciting adventure, fashion, and fame.
Okay, that was very distracting. It's called Frame Up. I was close. I was sort of close for this. Okay, episode 4 of Gem and the Holograms is called Frame Up, and I watched it yesterday so that my brain fog didn't have a chance to. Thank you so much, Corey. Corey's awesome. She's amazing. Look at this. Let's just talk about my Mass Effect mug. I love this thing. Okay, Frame Up, and I watched it yesterday so that the fog didn't have a chance to form too thickly. But if I'm being honest, I'm a little dodgy on the details or the order right now. There's a lot going on in the world, obviously, and trying to keep track of everything going on and trying to, plan for things and be prepared for anything that could happen keeps you in a heightened state of stress. And then you couple that with chronic pain, and your brain starts to do all kinds of weird stuff. So I have notes again to make sure I don't forget anything, but thinking back, the order is weird. And I think it's probably because it jumps so much. The episodes go from thing to thing to thing to thing very quickly, and you don't have a chance to settle into one thing or the other before something new happens. And so I think that's partly why I'm having trouble really holding on to each episode, because they're so quick, and I mean, they're short and quick, and my brain doesn't have a chance to really latch on. So this should be interesting. First off, I hated all of the songs in this episode. So I said I've been listening to Gem and the Holograms and Misfits music for a long time. Since I did have some of the original recording tapes that used to come with the dolls, and I did listen to those, and then I forgot how many years ago it was that I discovered the master tape recordings on YouTube, and then I started listening to them sort of more often on a playlist. But I only listened to maybe 20. Let's check, shall we? Let's see how big. My playlist is not long. That's my point. There's not a lot of Gem songs, Gem and Misfits songs that I really like. I'll be honest. I think some are incredibly catchy and wonderful, and some are just not good. And I don't listen to the songs that are not my favorites. So my Gem and the Holograms playlist has 33 songs on it. And I'll be honest with you, just scrolling through, most of them are Misfits. No, seriously, let me count one. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 out of 33 songs are Gem and the Hologram songs, One song is this by the Stingers, and the rest are the Misfits. So obviously, I'm a Misfits fan, but not, you know, it's not because I don't like Britta. I think Britta Phillips still has one of the best. She's not dead. No, she's not dead, but like, I mean, when you're young, your voice is very different, right? Okay, so her voice when she just started out was just insane, right? And as she's gotten older, it's matured, it's gotten a little deeper, and it's different now. I still like the music that she puts out. I love the work that she does, but it's different, obviously. So when I say had, the Gem singing is very different from her singing now, but she still has this very sort of, I don't know how to describe it, but her tone is just amazing. The way she sings is really amazing. And there were a couple of songs in this episode where you get to hear the thing that's so great about her voice. Vocally, oh my God, but lyrically, Jesus Christ, I couldn't take it. So that's the one thing that stood out to me, that all the songs in this episode, I just really did not gravitate towards. Lyrically, I did not gravitate towards them at all. Musically, I felt like somebody was writing these like on the subway. I know they were just like, we need a song about this. And they gave him like 5 minutes to write the song and then like another 6 minutes to write the music. And there's no way that you can come up with quality every time. The good thing about the songs in this episode is that they really did showcase her vocals so well. And I love her vocals. Just musically, ugh, just not good, not quality. I did not like them. So that was kind of a bummer because there's not anything that I can really sink my teeth into and like sing along with. Not that I have the energy to do it anyway, but when there's really good songs, like you feel them, right? They come on and you just start dancing no matter what kind of mood you're in. And these were not those songs. I think my playlist is mostly Misfits songs because like I say all the time, later on in the series, the Misfits music turns into something way different. Lyrically, musically, the songs are more mature, they're stronger, and that's why I think as I got older, I found the Misfits songs more appealing. Gem and the Holograms songs are not appealing to me, but Britta's vocal work and her...
This is a reminder. Is everyone hydrating?
I am hydrating, sort of. Britta's vocals are just astounding, especially as the Gem and the Holograms music sort of changes. I remember there hits a point where it gets a little heavy. I think it was like, Come On In, the Water's Fine. I remember had these strong guitars and these heavy beats, and it was very different from things that had come before it. And it sort of noted this shift in the musical style. I don't know whether they got different composers at that time or whatever, but the Gem songs definitely changed as the series went on. So I think a lot of my playlist might be a little bit later. I'm not sure because I don't know what episodes the songs are from. But so far in rewatching the series, I've only come across one episode maybe that had a couple of songs that are actually on my playlist. So a couple of the early songs I really like, but I think I don't really start liking them until later on, maybe second season or something. I'm not sure, but I'll see as we continue forward. So garbage fire on the songs this episode. Really unhappy with them. Worse than Twilight in Paris. I definitely want to say that Deception is maybe one of the worst songs I've ever heard in my life. I don't even know where we were. It was like listening to some K-pop songs. Don't come for me. But you know what I mean? Some K-pop songs are everywhere. I think like the K-pop machine, they like to just throw in every possible genre, trying to see which is going to appeal to whatever audience. And you just end up with songs that sound like they threw everything into like a dishwasher and turned it on and then just came out and said, here. Especially like aespa songs. Don't come for me. I like aespa, okay? I like everything that aespa is about. But production-wise, their music sounds a little like, you know, playing a song in a garbage dump and you're just banging on hubcaps and it's everywhere. I love aespa. I love those girls. I love everything about the sort of new wave of what they represent in K-pop. But the music, you can't dance to it. You can barely sing to it. It shifts color. It shifts range. It just, sometimes it's like I'm listening to something completely different within the same song. And I just can't with music like that. And it's not because I'm old, okay? I'm old, but I grew up in the 80s. And we had all kinds of music at that time. We had metal, we had Cyndi Lauper, we had R&B, we had punk, we had British punk. We had all kinds of genres in the 80s, way more than you have now. So I listen to all kinds of music and I love all kinds of music. But the new version of what K-pop is, it's everywhere and nowhere. And the Deception reminded me of some of the new K-pop where it's like, where are you going with this song? What is the beat? What is where's the range? What is the song doing? Where are we going? At the same time, sometimes when you get like crazy mixtures and compositions like that, vocally, the artist has to kind of hit all these different points. And that's where you can hear these just gorgeous notes from Britta. That was the one thing I really enjoyed about this episode. It's like there were just moments where I'm like, damn, that her vocals are strong, even with all the trash that is the composition. She just sounds amazing, and it gives her a chance to hit specific notes that just, you know, give you goosebumps. But musically, I'm gonna say no. You know, it's like some actors can like deliver an amazing performance even when the dialogue is bad, and like that's how you can tell the difference between like a really good actor and a not so good actor is what they do with crappy dialogue. It's the same with singers, like, and especially in K-pop, don't come for me, but they buy a lot of songs, right, that are written by like Norwegians and like random people. And they just kind of buy them and then give them to the girls to sing most of the time. And sometimes, what are you going to do with something that's kind of bought and like sort of prearranged, and you can tweak it a little, but like a good singer can take something and make it into something, you know, that suits them and suits their style. So I think that Britta's vocal capabilities allow her to just stretch into different areas, and you end up getting this incredible sound from her, even though the lyrics are ridiculous and the composition is not great. That was probably the top thing I liked about this episode. So recap, let's see. Previously, there was too much going on, but we had left off with Jem almost getting crushed by a piece of lighting in the studio after the interview that they were doing. And it sort of ended with her, right? So Rio saves Jem in this very dramatic way with a piece of camera.
I don't know what that thing's called.
the boom camera or something that he gets on and it swings and look. The awesome thing about the recap was something I hadn't noticed in the last episode, but when the recap is about how Pizzazz and the Misfits leave the interview, Pizzazz slaps Lindsay in this absolutely beautiful, nasty way as she walks out. I could not get enough of that slap. If you're going to slap somebody on the way out of a room and you just sort of take their face with you as you go, it was so like almost like an afterthought. It's like, your show is trash or whatever she said, and she just slaps her on the way out. Oh, I could not get enough of that. It was absolutely tremendous. There are a lot of great Pizzazz moments in this episode. Wow. So, the Rio saves Jem, and she has like a little bit of a mini PTSD breakdown. And frankly, with all of the stuff that's been happening to as far as like the Misfits and Spider Zipper Carl causing all kinds of
Sorry.
It's okay. Spider Zipper Carl causing all kinds of havoc and explosions and fire, you know, that sort of stuff. I'm surprised they don't all have some sort of serious traumatic response, because things are falling on them. There's explosions. There was a bomb in the mansion that blew up. They almost got crushed by a gargoyle. And now like lighting equipment is falling on them. Not to mention the bulldozer violence.
Have they seen Final Destination?
Seriously, it's very Final Destination. Like, you, at this point, anything is going to kill you. So, after the more of the violence, I'm not sure what happens. Okay, they leave the studio, and I have no idea what happens after that. Like, the only thing that's like happening in my mind is that they ended up in Vegas, but I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember how they ended up in Vegas, except that they signed, both bands signed a contract with some cowboy, and you don't even know how that came about. It's like he just shows up and he's like, here, I guess he's a concert promoter or something, and he's just like, sign this contract. But I don't know where this guy came from, so maybe that's why, again, it's vague. There's no connection to anything for me. They sign a contract to do a performance in Las Vegas, and the Misfits are opening for Jem and the Holograms, and the Misfits are pissed that because no one knew what they were signing, right? Where are their agents? I don't get this. So I was about to call him Harold. Well, I was about to call Eric Harold. I don't know. Harold? He looks like a Harold. Eric Raymond. Maybe I was thinking of Harold Ramis. Maybe? Why? Isn't Eric the Misfits' agent? So isn't he the one that would be signing contracts and making deals for them? I get that Jerica is Jem's agent, but no one is reading these contracts. They're just signing them, and then like, by the way, who's opening for us? Like, wouldn't you want to have this information? And like, even the Misfits, like, maybe not for Jem, because they don't care who's opening for them. Maybe I could kind of understand that. But the Misfits are like, who is the main band that we're opening for? It must,
After they signed the contract.
right after. It must be somebody big. Like, wouldn't you want to know that before you sign the? Where is Eric? All Eric does is hire Spider Zipper Carl. That's all I've seen Eric do, and try to like brainwash and groom Kimber. I haven't seen Eric actually do any managing aside from his Battle of the Bands in the first episode or whatever. It also occurred to me in this episode that this is still part of that whoever sells the most albums wins the mansion competition, because they mentioned it, but I completely forgot that was a thing. All the Jem episodes are like sequential, right? So they're it's very much a serial in that sense, right? So you have to kind of, everything is happening in order and in time. And I completely forgot, because Jem and the Twilight girls are still living in the mansion. I completely forgot that they haven't won it. I totally forgot that they're still in this competition where whoever sells the most records gets Starlight Music and also wins the mansion. I totally forgot that that was going on. And they mentioned it briefly in this episode, like, oh, we still have to, you know, win this competition. And I'm like, oh, that's right. They're still in competition. So let me just tell you, if they're still in competition, Deception is not going to win them and it's not going to sell any albums. That's a terrible song. Okay, so they go to Vegas, and I've never seen anything so amazing. They get on the plane flies across the screen, and they get off the plane. Again, I know the animation is quick and dirty. That's kind of what I call it, quick and dirty. It's quick and dirty because it's all over the place. There's no consistency in the eyeballs. There's no consistency in the facial expressions. It's quick and dirty animation. And all the animation back then was quick and dirty. You want to churn that out. You want to get that done. And so some of the things are just crazy. The way they got off that plane when they got to Las Vegas. What is happening? Who are they waving to? They got on that plane like, let's get on this plane. Let's go to Vegas. They got off that plane like, we're in Vegas. And I have no idea why they have that much enthusiasm. They got right off that plane and got into the faux roadster and took off. There are screeching tires. There's not even a moment to breathe. They were just like, we are here. Let's go. And then all of a sudden they showed up in the middle of Las Vegas. I've never been, so I don't know if it actually looks like that. They showed up in Vegas and all the cars came up to their ankles. I don't know what was happening.
That was a very strange optical illusion.
I don't know if that was supposed to be. I feel like that's probably.
I mean, like, was like one the background and then one had the action?
I feel like cars kind of look like that depending on the angle that you're.
Yeah.
We're both doing the robot right now. We're both like level next level. Oh, I can't.
Ground though?
But they're not. The cars wouldn't come up to their heads until they got in view of them.
So you must be. I mean, I guess if you were above the
We're
car,
still, both of us are doing this. It's the funniest thing. We're both talking to each other and doing this.
Because you'd have to be above the car for the cars to look so short.
I got to put it up on the screen so that you guys can sort of determine, because to me this looks really.
Maybe a smarter person can tell us.
Maybe, I don't know, but like I've never seen anything like this. But the cars in that previous shot, also the police. What did Lawrence say about the police car? He said that police car is struggling or something like that. It was the funniest way I've ever seen anyone describe a police car. But like the car, someone can't draw cars, and this is very common, right? Like.
You're right. I can't draw a car, so just.
So, you know, it's like there's a lot of comic artists that can't draw feet or whatever. So when they draw like superheroes and stuff, they don't ever show the feet. Someone can't draw cars, because every screenshot I get that has a car in it, it is janked. Okay, I don't know who draws the cars. But the Rockin' Roadster is perfect. Like somebody took an actual car, and I feel like they only know how to draw a Rolls Royce, because the Rockin' Roadster. That's the only car they know how to drive, or they hate every other car. Every other car is like a Crown Vic or just some weird toy box looking thing. It literally looks like the person who draws any vehicles that's not a Rolls Royce. Everything looks like it came out of Paper House. Did anyone see this movie? Paper House? Is anyone there? Did anyone see this? I know somebody must have. And like the house is like, it's supposed to be an interpretation of a kid's drawing, right? Of a house, and like it's all messed up. I think someone drawing the cars is either really demented or just cannot draw anything other than a Rolls Royce or something. Because the car that they get into that's already waiting for them in Vegas, I feel like Jerica made this phone call and was like, look, we're going to Vegas and we can't bring the Rockin' Roadster with us, but we need a car that's exactly like the Rockin' Roadster. And they were like, we don't even have anything that looks like that. Give them that green thing. And then they just leave it at the wherever they landed, and they jump into the car and take off. Somebody really likes these cars, and that's all they can draw. And I don't have a problem with that. But I also think like you know, you had people who drew backgrounds, and then you had people who drew the characters, and I doubt those people were the same people, and that's where you end up with like these weird situations sometimes. Vegas looks like a nightmare. And who is Victoria Mugen? Does anyone know? I've never been, so I don't know what it looks like, but it looked weirdly like Tokyo. Does Vegas look like Tokyo? I don't know. But those cars were killing me, and I could not get over how fat it was. Like, we're going, we're flying, we're there! It was amazing.
Gem will be right back after these messages.
In the meantime, the Misfits have they hired somebody? Now I need to consult my notes, because I know that Eric sent Spider Zipper Carl and 2 friends. I didn't even know that Spider Zipper Carl had friends. He's got friends that wear the weirdest masks I've ever... We'll get to that. I can't. So, yes. So they get off. Who is Victoria? They got to Vegas. In my notes, I said, they got to Vegas and the cars are having a minute. That's my exploration. And then Deception. So Deception comes in because Jerica has been... Deception. And I don't mean the deception with the chocolate bunny. I mean the other Deception.
You just want to have to make clips all day. That is your goal in life. You want more clips than Gem video at this point, I think, is what you're doing.
Anyone who watched Deception with Megan Good, look, you guys know, okay, if you like that show, you need help. That was the worst show on television, and 2 Black Geeks said it was the worst show on television. We declared it was the worst show on television. We gave plenty of examples as to why Deception was the worst show on television. It was the worst show on television. Let's just put this right out there. Deception is NBC's Chocolate Bunny show.
Yes.
NBC needs a Chocolate Bunny show.
Yeah.
Because Scandal is kicking
Yeah,
ass.
because
Right?
the ABC Chocolate Bunny is taking names.
Right?
Yeah.
Everybody needs a Chocolate Bunny show at this point. There are going to be more Chocolate Bunnies on your TV soon than you will know what to do.
Oh, what are we... Yeah, it's going to be Alfie Woodard.
Alfie Woodard.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett's going to be there.
You know, Octavia Spencer. They're going to find everybody.
Anybody they can find.
Everybody going to find.
Because, and you can blame this on Kerry Washington. You can. You can blame it on Kerry Washington.
It's going to be Alfie Woodard, the head of a police. She's going to be a police chief.
Kerry Washington
Freeze, punk!
has done this to your TV. She showed up, she kicked ass, and now everyone's like, we need a chocolate bunny.
We need a chocolate bunny. Who's available? Who's available? And they start going to BET like they're scouting baseball players.
You know?
You know what I'm saying?
Look at that one.
Look at BET.
Look at that one.
Let's look at the
that
roster and be...
And somewhere along the line, somebody
It's like the slavery block. Oh, we'll take that.
what can he do?
What can he do? What can he do?
It is a slavery block.
You know what I'm
Seriously.
saying? It's like,
Just-
oh, we'll take that one.
stand up,
We'll take
stand
that
up,
one. Stand them up. Take your shirt off. Oh.
She's got to be pretty. She's got to be like Kerry Washington-ish without being Kerry Washington. You know, she's got to have a weave.
Yeah.
She's got to... Look, they put him on the slave block and poof.
And
Megan
poof.
Good was like, I'm available.
Hey, Megan's not going to say no. Going to be on a prime time
No,
show for NBC.
because it's a gig. It's work.
Yes.
It's a gig. But
You say
look,
yes.
look, y'all. Deception is deceptive because it's not good. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. The setup in terms of how we got to the point of the show, like
Just
where
doesn't make
the show
sense.
starts, it doesn't make sense.
Give me the camera.
It doesn't make sense.
Look.
Hit it.
Every time this happens, I get up here and I try to talk to you people.
Here we go.
I try to talk to you and I try to warn you. I try to reach out and say, don't watch this show. And I try to explain to you why. I'll spend an hour talking to you about why, and none of you will understand. Lawrence and I are going to sit here and explain to you why this show is weird, and you're not going to understand it. You're going to listen to us, and you're going to laugh, and in the end, you're going to be like, those two are so funny, but you're not going to hear what we're saying. Listen carefully. From here on out, please listen very carefully as to why you should not watch the show. Everything we say from here on out, from this point forward, is going to be funny and true. And the song Deception in Gem is the worst song in Gem and the Holograms. I don't like it, but it comes in the middle here. On top of the song being terrible, Rio gets torn apart in the video.
But I'm afraid when the whole thing is at an end, and you learn that it's just pretend, you cry deception.
He literally is a piñata. And again, I feel it's a little racist.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's kind of brown.
He's brown.
He's not white. You're right.
He's not white. And his last name is Pachenko, which I feel maybe is of Latin American, Spanish-ish type origin. And he became a piñata in the video, and
It's a surname in Spain that was brought from Portugal.
Pachenko? Okay, a surname in Spain that was brought from Portugal.
Yeah.
Okay, so the fact that he became a piñata and was torn apart.
But then sparkles came out.
Those weren't sparkles, that was confetti.
Wait, sorry, confetti. Confetti.
I like how they somehow tried to make it less traumatizing by the whole sequence was in black and white, and Jem and Jerica pull him apart and his insides open and all of this red confetti.
And you learn that it's just pretend, you cry deception.
Y'all, the level of violence in Gem and the Holograms is off the charts. It is off the charts, between the Misfits running people over with bulldozers, planting bombs under people's couches, knocking gargoyles, trying to crush people, and then watching Jemica tear her boyfriend apart and open, and his insides come flying out, but his insides are red confetti as if he's a piñata. I don't know what to say. I need coffee. That's what I need. I need coffee. I need to process this. Damn, that's good. I feel better now.
You're welcome.
And now, back to Gem.
Okay, so the racist piñata thing definitely traumatized me. But in the video is terrible. But man, there was some great notes in there. I'm gonna have to like splice in some sections of the video in here so that you can hear what I mean. Like it's all over the place, but there's some notes in there that she hits that are just.
I never meant to lie to you, I swear it. I never meant to play those games. At times I wanna cry to you, 'cause I can't bear it. But I fear our love will end in flames.
Oh man, so good. So good. The whole Vegas situation is a little, I don't know. And the whole Ashley situation is equally, I don't know. So Ashley is totally broken. And I think she's been brainwashed by the Misfits after they took her to the bar and ordered water. She became, or as someone said in the comments, Club Eighth. Is that what it was? That's brilliant, by the way. Club Eighth. Club 1/8 or Club Eighth. Club Eighth Note. They took her, and apparently the water had something in it that made her, you know, kind of loopy, and she became a misfit. So the Misfits asked Ashley to come with them, and I'm not sure why. I think they wanted her to help sabotage Jem and the Holograms so that they couldn't go on, and then the Misfits would become the main head act. I don't know why they needed Ashley for this, because Eric would just call Spider Zipper Carl and he would handle it. But they brought Ashley with them to Vegas? And that's odd, right? I mean, that's weird, isn't it? Like, Ashley's just like, fine, I'll go to Vegas in the same clothes that she's been wearing for a month and no luggage because we're just making a quick stopover. And she is there just to create sabotage. Like, you needed to bring a kid with you for this? Like, all I'm saying is it doesn't make any sense. And the child labor, I got nothing. Yes, I will sell my girls. You know, it's like, it's totally a situation where they're using this kid and they're taking her all over God's creation. And what was she, 11? They said she was 11 or 12 or something.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm sorry.
I don't remember either. I can't remember half of this episode. The whole situation with Ashley is weird. And I get that they have to have like one like bad kid. Even when like she had the Misfit shirt and she shoved it under a pillow when Jerica came in to talk to her, brilliant. They're like, the head mistress lady or whatever, the cook, was like, you know, Ashley's been leaving and she's been going out and just only coming home to sleep or whatever. And Jerica's like, oh, well, I'll talk to her. And Jerica has no idea what she's doing. Again, Jerica is not good at the foster mom thing. I don't know what Jerica actually does because she doesn't run a music company. Remember, Eric said he owns half of Starlight Music? Jerica owns the other half of Starlight Music. What is Jerica doing? At least whenever we see Eric, he's in the office, right? He's in the Starlight Music office. Jerica, what is Jerica doing?
I'm sorry for this misunderstanding, officer.
Don't apologize. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But what do you do?
Jerica is not a manager. She doesn't act like half owner. Why aren't they signing other bands? Is it only the Misfits and Jem? If you're a record company and you only have 2 groups, I don't know. Those groups better be performing for you really, really well, because you're not JYP. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have a million groups under your label that are all somewhat mediocre, and maybe you have like 2 or 3 good ones that sell all your records and make all your money. Starlight Music has 2 bands. One, I guess I would assume, is signed to Jerica on her half, and then the Misfits are signed to Eric. And that's it. That's the only music you have going on. I mean, that doesn't seem right. Look, I watched Empire. I know how things work in the music industry. So Jerica doesn't seem to know what she's doing. And if she does, we don't get an opportunity to see it. Every time we see her doing something, she seems incredibly incompetent. And I don't know why we're supposed to like her. On top of which, oh my God, the Rio thing, at least in this episode, she admitted that what she was doing was kind of fucked up. Like, at least she said it. Oh my God, she's going to marry a carrot.
You marry a carrot, Lisa. Yes, I'm gonna marry a carrot. She admitted it! She admitted she's gonna marry a carrot!
She admitted it. All I'm saying is, like, at least this is the first time I think she's actually said, this is kind of fucked up. And Shayna, always listen to the black women. Shayna was like, you know, what are you going to do about this? And she's like, well, I don't want Rio to feel like I've manipulated him. Isn't that what you've been doing the whole time? Everybody at least recognizes that it's messed up, and at least she admits that it's messed up. And Aja was like, oh, poor Rio, when he finds out that, you know what, that is not something that you should be laughing about. That dude is going to be messed up for life, okay? This is like Dead Ringers, except with like a white lady. This is not... What? Why do you laugh?
Because you just keep making more and more work for yourself every time you speak.
Why? Just because I mentioned it doesn't mean I have to put a clip in.
You don't go and see her. What? I will. And I'll tell her I'm you. And I'll do terrible things to her. What sort of terrible things?
Jem will be right back after these messages.
But it is like, and at least Dead Ringers, there were actually 2 of them. There's only just one with holograms. I can't believe that she still won't just tell him. Like, if this is supposed to be taking place over a course of days, right, since the initial bet with Eric or whatever, right? So if we count, then this has been 4 days, right, since the start of the whole Jem thing. Let's make a band. Let's dress in my father's clothes. I mean, dress in clothes that my father designed. You know what I mean. It's been 4 days, right? This is episode 4. A lot has happened in 4 days. So in 4 days, she's been sort of doing this thing, this deception thing. And she could easily tell him now, okay? It's been 4 days. It's been a hectic 4 days. There's been explosions, fire, gargoyles, you know, yacht things going on, and the tractor violence. I mean, it's been a hectic 4 days. She might be able to claim it slipped her mind that she was cosplaying this whole time. I mean, maybe. But she's not going to tell him. And I mean, they were just in Paris 3 days ago. I mean, a day ago. So it hasn't been so long that I couldn't see her saying, look, I kind of had this idea last minute to make this band and to become Jem, because somehow I didn't want to just be Jerica in a band, because I hate myself and I'm very insecure about who I am, and I need to use this cosplay in order to become the woman that I feel like I am on the inside. Look, I'm doing a lot of analyzing. But she could say this to him. It's only been 4 days. It's only been 4 days. Right? Say something. If you see something, say something. Why won't she tell him? I still haven't gotten an answer as to why she did this in the first place. Aja, Shayna, Kimber, all 3 of them are themselves, just with makeup and her dad's fashion line. They are not holograms. They're not holograms at all. But Jerica is a hologram. Now, when I remember that Jerica is also half owner of Starlight Music, it is entirely possible that she cannot employ herself, right? She can't both be a half owner and also an employee. Maybe that's why. I mean, but aren't there singers and bands that own their own production companies, right? Like Jenny from Blackpink. I'm talking K-pop today, hardcore. Like, there's lots of K-pop artists that have their own labels, and they are the sole artist on those labels, right? But I'm thinking somehow that Jerica maybe thinks that she can't be in a band and also be the owner of her own music label, but that doesn't make any sense because plenty of artists are. So I still don't know what her reason is, aside from dissociative identity disorder that she would decide to make only one hologram of herself and call it Jem and the Holograms. It's not Jem and the Holograms. It's the hologram with Aja, Shayna, and Kimber. So it's the whole name of the band is deceptive. It makes you think that Jem is the only real person in the group, when in fact, she's the fake person in the group. Does this make any sense? Have I just discovered some sort of weird conspiracy spiral that I've gone down? I just don't understand why she did this. And I didn't understand it when I was in middle school. And now that I'm older, it makes even less sense why she made that choice. She could have just been the lead of a band. It's not like she can't sing, because is the hologram part of her voice too? Like, maybe she can't carry a tune, right? Okay, so she does some sort of AI and the Hatsune Miku of it all, you know, the Plav of it all, and decides to make her voice fake or something. But it doesn't seem like that. It seems like Jerrica can just sing already, right? And all the band members can band, right? All the band members can band. But even if they're playing guitars in their armpits, like they're playing instruments, they're not faking that. That's not a hologram. So I don't understand this at all. The whole concept of this cartoon doesn't make any sense. It flies in the face of logic for me. I don't get it. The premise is Jerrica and Jem are the same people. Isn't that the premise of Jem? The premise of Jem is that Jerrica is hiding her identity. Why is Jerrica hiding her identity? You have to at least begin there. When you're writing plot, you know, again, don't come for me. Christy Marx is a great writer, okay? This is not some, you know, attack on her. This is somebody going, Christy, we got these dolls, make a series, right? But Christy, where does your premise make logical sense? Why did you decide to give Jerrica this alternate personality, right? Instead of making a cartoon about Jem and the Holograms, why did you decide to make it about a hologram and a bunch of women playing instruments? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You just had a doll, a toy line, a doll line with some nice earrings, and you said, I'm going to turn this into this thing where she's got this computer that turns her into a hologram, and she makes a band, and she keeps it from her boyfriend. I don't know where all that came from.
Drama.
I know that we need drama, but the Misfits...
I said trauma.
Oh, trauma. Oh, I'll give it to you. It's like this. Basically, Christy Marx is like Susie, is like Julie Plex. Is that what you're saying? Like, you know, she's like projecting all of her issues into Vampire Diaries.
Something like that.
I don't get it. I don't, like, where do you come up with this? The drama is the Misfits, the conflict, the villains, right? You have that back and forth play. So I guess, you know, the telenovela of it all is that you're hiding this from your boyfriend, that you're actually mentally ill, is really what it comes down to me. And I don't understand this. How is this the premise of this show? Anyway. Are you kidding?
That's unfair. She made those.
That doesn't make any sense. I need to calm down. But like, it doesn't make sense. And I don't mean to get so fiery about it, but like,
No, you're right.
I still don't understand. It was Christy's idea. She is responsible for this. And I appreciate the fact that she tried to inject like serious K-drama into this cartoon about this doll line. But I just wonder, why was that the thing that she decided to do? And how does she justify that in the series? Maybe she doesn't ever. I don't know, because I don't remember anything that happens. I do remember the last episode of Jem that aired, the one with Bonnie, I believe. And A Father Should Be, which is another great song. Anyway, that was the very last episode. So somehow maybe it was going to come out, or did it come out later, or did it come out in the middle season, and I just don't remember it. But I don't understand this premise, and I'm going to sort of die on this hill that Gem and the Holograms is not about Gem and the Holograms. It's about someone with dissociative identity disorder, someone who's very insecure. And I say this also because I have evidence. Every conversation she has, like with Rio, there's this weird sort of, do you like me? Like, that question was so weird in the last episode. Like Rio, do you like me? And he's like, I don't even know you. Do you like me? He's your boyfriend. You're not asking if he likes you. You know he likes you because he's your boyfriend. But when you say, do you like me, when you're dressed head to toe like a completely different person, you're asking if he likes who you are now. And that screams therapy to me. That screams some sort of projection. And I think, again, only a woman could write this kind of thing too. I don't get where that comes from, and I'm willing to accept that maybe, like Corey said, there's a little bit of trauma written into this storyline. You can't be a writer and not write parts of yourself into things or pull from things that you're even subconsciously, maybe you're not aware of. But I don't know that a guy would write a story about a woman who does this, right? And keeps it from her boyfriend, and then has this confusing state of mind where she doesn't know if he likes her better as one or the other. That's not something that a man would write. So I wonder about this. I wonder what this even means, because I can't wrap my head around the premise of Gem and the Holograms. Like I said, the title itself doesn't even make sense, because and the are not even the holograms. They're real people. So it's just odd. And yes, it creates these situations where it's like, oh, where's Jerica? Oh, we have to keep her secret and all that kind of nonsense. And then it's like, those things don't make much sense to me either. I don't like those kinds of, what's the word I'm looking for? Those setups, right, where everything is built on this fear of being found out, right? It's like Bad Nikita episodes where it's all about, oh my God, I'm a spy, infiltrated into this group of people, and oh my God, they're going to find out. Oh my God, they're going to find out. Oh my God, they're going to find out. And every episode is, oh my God, they're going to find out. Or just like trying to do something spy-ish and making sure you don't get caught at the last minute. Like, that gets old very, very quickly for me. It doesn't keep the tension for me. Like, I get bored with that. It's a false kind of tension. And it's the same here. Everybody keeping Jerica's secret while at the same time scolding her about the fact that she has a secret is annoying. It's just like, you know it's wrong. You know she's wrong for doing it, but you're still keeping her secret. And in the last episode, they were scolding Kimber, like, oh my God, you were going to tell Rio Jerica's secret? And she's like, it's wrong what she's doing. And they're like, yeah, it's wrong, but that's for her to decide, to reveal. It's not for us to reveal. I'm sorry. What? That doesn't make any sense. You know it's wrong, but you're willing to keep her secret and then be like, it's so wrong. Oh my God, when Rio finds out, he's going to feel so bad. I can't believe you're doing this, but I won't tell your secret. It doesn't make any sense. Save us from these people, okay? I got off track. because it infuriates me. I'm sorry. I need to calm down. And I admit this, that I'm taking this way too far. But as far as like my adult mind versus my middle school mind, in middle school, I was confused. And it was a bit of a source of drama for me and my friend to talk about, oh, she almost got caught by Rio or whatever. But at the same time, we also said it's kind of messed up what she's doing, even back then. So revisiting it, it's like, maybe I thought it would make sense, or maybe I thought there was just something maybe I didn't understand as a kid. where I couldn't quite figure out what she was doing or why she was doing it, and maybe it would make sense later. I don't know if it ever made sense later because I don't remember, but watching it now, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And if you're going to write a show where it's episodic and you're going to build tension and you're going to build drama over a course of episodes, it's a soap opera, right? It's a soap opera for kids. It's not just like random episodes where you have random songs and they play gigs. The songs have to do with the relationship. The situations that they get into have to do with keeping the secret, you know, in service to the relationship. It's a soap opera. It is a cartoon soap opera for kids, but it's messed the fuck up. Right?
Shem will be right back after these messages.
My notes are very like, it's just like these like quick sort of sentences that I write when I'm watching it, just so that I don't forget things. And it just says, deception, what the fuck? Oh my God, they tore Rio in fucking half. Jesus, he was full of confetti guts. These are the things that stand out to me. Oh yeah, Ashley, what are you doing in Las Vegas? I think, again, Aja just, these are these great lines.
It can't be. Ashley, what are you doing in Las Vegas?
If you literally were in Las Vegas and you saw one of your foster children in the hallway, what are you doing in Las Vegas is really not the question that you should be asking. I don't know that any questions really come to mind. My question is, how the hell did you get to Las Vegas? Who brought you to Las Vegas? What creepy adult put you on a plane with them and brought you to Los Angeles without a change of clothes? These are the questions I would be asking. But I like that that's your first. What are you doing in Las Vegas? It's not what are you doing. Like, why are you here? How are you here? What the fuck are you doing in Las Vegas? I don't know. It was amazing. So Ashley causing problems for the Gem and the Holograms, I guess, is going to be a thing that like continues for a while. Like her betrayal of her foster family, basically, which again, this is a soap opera and this is weird. I don't understand what Ashley's issues are with Gem and the Holograms. And I assume that she also knows Jerica's secret, doesn't she? Or do the kids not know either? Like, are they fooling the kids too? I guess they are fooling the kids because the kids don't know about Synergy. So they literally are like lying to everybody, including like their foster children. I'm getting back into this place again. So I don't get the thing with Ashley. I get that she's a thief and that she's probably, you know, she's not a nice foster kid. She's one of the foster kids that's a little bit broken and a little bit traumatized and maybe not, you know, doesn't have the best role models in her life, and now she's a foster child and she's having a little bit of trouble adjusting to, you know, living in a mansion and having food and clothes to eat. Not clothes to eat. Food, clothes to eat and food to wear. I don't understand what her hostility is, aside from just that she's like a misfit or something. I don't understand Ashley. Ashley is kind of annoying me. Skipping ahead a bit, though, because I'm talking about Ashley, something that I really liked about this episode was Stormer saying, they sometimes scare me too. I thought that was also really interesting.
I wouldn't hurt you, Ashley. I'm scared of Pizzazz and Roxy. They'll be so mad. Yeah, they scare me too sometimes.
Huh? It was terrifying, but I like that, you know, Ashley, like, you know, I'm scared of Pizzazz and Roxy, and Stormer's like, you know, I'm sometimes scared of them too. Like,
you never want your adult to your adult to be feeling the same feeling as you.
Yeah, that's not a good sign. And then it makes you sort of wonder, Stormer, what do you, right? The whole situation with Pizzazz, like, we haven't seen Stormer really do anything. Like, Roxy was the one who jumped on the bulldozer and tried to kill everyone. And Pizzazz treats them all terribly. Like, she says, like, at one point, she says, shut up, I'm the brains here. It's like, these are the most abusive abusers and abusees. That whole group dynamic is really messed up. But so is Jem and the Holograms when you consider the fact that Jerrica was fine, like not including them in that interview because it didn't occur to her to stand up for them. Like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. But that struck me that she said that they scare her too. And it's like, why are you a part of this group then? Like, there's something about Stormer, right? Her identity is wrapped up in all of this stuff, but she's not that at all. And she's willing to come to the defense of Jem and the Holograms at the end, right?
I also heard the men, but I must speak to you in private.
By dressing like Carmen San Diego. And it's like, that's our sort of first glimpse at sort of Stormer and her relationship with them. That really interested me. That I feel like Ashley and Stormer maybe kind of are torn from the same cloth, maybe. And like Stormer just ended up with the wrong friends, you know, and hung out with the wrong people and then decided to create a band. But now she's sort of trapped in that. And that's sad. That makes me sad. That was a weird moment. You know, that, again, when you're writing this, you're writing these bits in, right? That line didn't have to be there. That situation didn't have to exist, but they're writing these lines and they're creating these characters and giving them depth, right? They're giving them traumas. Even in just like that one line, we learn a lot about Stormer. And you don't have to do that, right? This is a cartoon, right? This is not something that you need to write that kind of depth in for, right? And I appreciated that. It really stood out to me that she said that. And even, again, the voice actress sort of putting that in there, that it's like you have that moment between them and it's very serious and it makes you kind of think, right? And I love that. You don't have to do that. Christy didn't have to write half of this stuff. She could have written any kind of show around this line, around music, right? She could have done whatever, but she infused in it this depth and this drama of a soap opera. And that is kind of amazing and something that I absolutely appreciate, even though it's bonkers. I appreciate the seriousness with which she tried to craft a show every week, you know, and was it daily? No, it was weekly. Trying to craft, you know, these characters and give them a little bit more, trying to give the show a little bit more, even though the audience was like, right? There's something about that. And even the production of the music, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to make something that good or write something that good or produce songs that were that good. You could have done whatever as long as people are watching it and you're selling stuff. That's all that matters, right? And most of the stuff that was coming out of the 80s was based on selling toys. You know, almost everything was based on selling some sort of toy line. In some cases, you know, especially in a lot of cases, the toy line came first and that came afterwards. And some of them were great. I mean, I don't think I ever watched a bad show. I mean, we had great deep cartoons at that time. G.I. Joe was nothing to sneeze at, you know. He-Man was nothing to sneeze at. Thundercats was nothing to sneeze at. You know, they were all trying to give you something, not just so that you would tune in, but something that could be carried across and teach lessons, right? And give you all these characters to look up to and situations to root for them in. It wasn't just, oh, let's sell these. It had to be compelling. It had to be interesting, especially for kids. Kids aren't dumb. You know, they're not just going to watch something that's trash. And the better you make it, the better they're going to tune in, right? So Christy did something amazing with this. And I admire that greatly, even though I honestly feel there's a lot of weird, traumatic things in here. And it's a little disturbing from an adult perspective, but again, it's also kind of amazing. And that's something that really will always appreciate about what she created with Gem and the Holograms.
Gem will be right back after these messages.
The guy that was driving the bus, again, you're going to put like all of this great acting into the show and you don't need to, but like I absolutely love that bus driver. He was in character, and they were like, they drew the bus driver, they're like, this is the bus driver and this is the attitude you have to give, and he's like, bitch, what are you talking about? I don't have a flat tire.
Excuse me, sir?
What is it, lady?
I think you have a flat tire.
Ain't nothing wrong with these.
And when he went around to check that tire, he was like, this thing isn't flat. It was the best delivery of a line, and it didn't need to be good at all. He could have said whatever, and I just absolutely loved that delivery. Aja getting back to the hotel has one of the best animations I've ever seen. She talks to these creepy guys. That one of them looks like a punk rock dude, and the other guy looks like what's his name in Predator? What was his name? Jerry?
Hey, Billy.
Jerry?
Billy.
Jerry?
Billy.
Jerry?
Billy. Billy.
Jerry? I swear it's the same exact guy. And then they're not willing to help her, and this guy pulls up on this motorcycle. Again, somebody can't draw cars, but they're not so bad with the motorcycles. But that guy pulled up on that motorcycle with so much cake. I had to pause. He drove up and he was like, hey, I was like, what? He did not need to have all that. Again, when you're drawing it, somebody drew that cake. Somebody was like, look, I want wedding cake. I want 4-tier cake on that bike. And he is straddling that thing. She gets on that bike, and like there's just a great shot of them for 5 minutes just staring into the camera. And I mean, I absolutely died. It didn't need to go on as long as it did, but again, I love it. You're just showing them on the bike, going where they need to go, and they're just like, they're absolutely frozen in fear.
Frozen in fear.
I could not stop laughing. I've never seen, when you freeze frame these things, again, back in the day, there were no VCRs, at least we didn't have one right away. But people weren't sitting there, you know, clicking through frames. But like some of the frames are just scary with the drawing of stuff. There was a frame at the beginning, I think it was showing the previously when they're on Lindsay's talk show. And Lindsay is sort of turned to the camera. And one of her eyes is drawn a certain way, and the other one is facing a different direction. It's terrifying, and I love every minute of it. I don't know that I ever put that freeze frame in there from the first or second episode with the guy that looked like Dr. Gaius in Planet of the Apes. Again, I don't know who drew this shot, but the guy, it totally, I'm going to put it up on the screen. You tell me that is not Dr. Gaius. Is it not? But that cake, man, I don't think I'm going to get over that. That was like some badunk. I was really impressed that he got all that on that bike. So she gets back. They do this weird situation where they steal money, and Spider Zipper Carl has two friends that I didn't know existed. I was glad to see that he had some sidekicks. I loved the masks that they had on.
Those were insane. Who? What? I don't know. No.
Jem will be right back after these messages.
Those masks were great. The whole, and again, blowing up of, what is with the bombs?
People come up to me and they say, Margaret, what's going on with North Korea? What's up with that guy? Does he have a bomb? What's going on? What's going on with North Korea? What's up with that guy? Does he have a bomb? Margaret, what's going on with I don't know.
What is with the fire? I don't understand. Why do they have to use explosives and C4 in every episode? They blew open a safe, and of course no one heard the explosion at all. They took the money and they put it in Jem's bag because Jem is so dumb that if she was going to steal money from a casino, she would just shove it in her bag and leave it sitting there for everybody to find. No one will ever think to look here. But I did like that whole thing where Stormer came to the rescue and did everything. I love that, like, again, more great voice work. That guy came up and he was like, Mr. Hayes!
Mr. Hayes, we've been robbed! What?
The money is gone! And I just was like, why? Why are you saying it like this? Hayes! You've been hazed!
Blackie McTickles, is that the name of your racist Muppet company? You've been hazed.
Speaking of great lines, Pizzazz, she has a great voice actress and an even better singing voice, Ellen. The thing that works for me about Pizzazz is that rasp, right? And the thing that works for me about Ellen's singing is that she has these sort of loopy notes that she does extremely well that make her sound like a little unhinged. And just outstanding in this episode. Eric absolutely killed her when he's like, you know, now they're starting to, you know, feel like, you know, they want to figure out who Jem is. And he's like, you know, maybe she has another name that she uses, you know, like you, Phyllis.
The big contest is only a few days away and Jem's more popular than ever. None of your brilliant schemes have worked.
We need another approach.
Get to the point.
Perhaps Jem is just a stage name like yours, Phyllis, or...
And she just lost her mind. And that scream... I can't remember what the last song was. I don't remember what that last song was. Was it... what was the last song that they sang? The one where they had the rainbows coming out of their butts? And she was wearing that epic Twilight in Paris trench coat. Look, I know Twilight in Paris is just, you know, but that blue trench, I'm not going to lie. I'll take it. That was awesome. I don't know what the song was. It was another one of those horrible songs, but that horse knocked that bitch off so fast. Oh, that was the song, Truly Outrageous. I said that Truly Outrageous horse was like, bitch, get off. That's what I said. The song Truly Outrageous, which was weird because I didn't remember that was actually a song.
Yeah, I thought it was their theme.
It's the theme, yeah, in the opening, but like you never hear the song in its entirety. So I didn't remember that it was an actual song, and you get to hear that song in its entirety. That was the song with the crazy horse. It was like, ow!
Was it a unicorn?
Was it a unicorn or a horse? Was it a unicorn?
I thought it had a horn, but maybe.
There were like a lot of rainbows. Maybe it was a unicorn, like the unicorns. It was like a white unicorn, like in Legend. I know, I can't help it. That's a beautiful shot. It's one of my favorites. Everybody thought so, including the guy that was gonna shoot the dart. He's like, this shot be just the sweetest pie. It was great.
And now back to Jem.
Anyway, I think it was a unicorn. I don't think you're wrong about that. I think I just don't remember because I was so enamored with the fact that it just bucked her off while she's flying, and it was just like, no, there'll be no more of this. You're leaving. But yeah, I forgot that was an actual song. I don't actually like the entire song of Truly Outrageous. It's okay, and it has these great notes in it. Oh my God, I just kept saying it the whole time we were watching. I was like, vocals, vocals, vocals. Just terrible songs, but the vocals, oh my God. Just, I don't know if they were trying to utilize every aspect of her voice, you know, and some of the songs were written so that she could really showcase the skills that she had. I don't know if that was purposeful or whether she just got in there and she was just like, oh, you want me to sing what? And just, you know, created magic. I just said that so many times. I'm like, oh, those vocals are just killer, you know? So I really, I can't say I'm a huge fan of the whole Truly Outrageous song. I like it in the opening, you know, but like the whole song, I'm not a huge fan of. I really, this episode did not do it for me musically at all. It was more, it did it for me vocally. There were a lot of vocal things that I loved about this episode. The private eye guy was mentioned at the very end as far as someone looking into things. And he totally, I never would have guessed that he was a private eye. He didn't look a thing like a private eye. He didn't resemble a private eye in any way. I never would have guessed who he was supposed to be. I like that he beat the shit out of Synergy. I don't understand the violence, again, with the show. He was like, stop with your alarm. I will beat you. And he just beat Synergy to death.
Intruder, 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 intruder. Shut up or I'll smash you to smithereens. Intruder, 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 intruder.
But I don't know why that dude picked up a baseball bat and started beating. Most people would start pressing buttons, you know, like if an alarm is going off, they would, you know, try to look for a plug in a wall or like, you know, how do I turn this off? They wouldn't immediately pick up a weapon and start breaking things. I don't understand what it is with these men that Eric hires. I feel like they're all part of the same destructive white man club. I don't understand why they do these things. It's absolutely insane. Are you going to keep sneezing?
I don't think so. I think that was the only one. I'm sorry. I love you. Why are you dead?
Again, it's the Ruby frag of it all. Why are you sneezing?
When you are... We're gonna cut that out. You get down and you be quiet.
We're gonna cut this out. Oh my God, it's crazy. And again, it ends on, didn't it end on another explosion? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, him beating Synergy and it exploded. Does every episode end with an explosion? I feel like every episode does. But this did kind of concern me because I'm like, look, what did Synergy do to you? I'm a little concerned, and I feel like their security system maybe needs a bit of an upgrade because all she can literally do is just say intruder, intruder, intruder. Don't they have some sort of like earring alarm that would go off and be like, come back and save me from this crazy white guy? Instead, it just keeps repeating the same thing. Synergy couldn't create a hologram of cops or something like, you know, what are you doing here, Mr. Private Eye, secret agent guy? What are you doing here with a baseball bat? But she just repeats the same thing. She doesn't seem terribly efficient. I also no lockdown. I also didn't notice that she was a keyboard. Like there's like you can play Synergy. Like when he was beating the crap out of her, I was like, there's keys on it, like a keyboard. Did you notice that, Corey? Yeah. It's like a jukebox or something, like a giant like church organ or something. I didn't realize that that it's not just a computer. It's actually like a musical instrument. I don't know why I never noticed that before, but I noticed it when he was beating it up.
This is a reminder. Ladies, get ready. Lunch is coming.
I didn't notice when he was beating it up that it was an instrument and not just a computer for some reason. I don't know why, like in my head, I thought it was just like a big computer. It's a musical instrument. Is there a reason it's a musical instrument? Does it play? Can you play it? Is that like something? I have many more things to find out, I feel, with this series because I don't remember hardly any of it. And it's weird because I listen to the music constantly, but I don't remember the show hardly at all. I think that's it. I think that's like the only thing that I have to say. Like I said, one thing. I think how long have I been going on? Like 2 hours now. But I think that's all that I can think of that I wrote in my notes. Let me just check. Yeah, that's all I wrote. We were cracking up when we were watching this episode, though. Definitely. Like, it's just a lot of hilarious things happened. And it was very enjoyable that way. But, yeah, it was very quick. Again, it was one sort of situation that happened, the whole Vegas fiasco. And we just have to wait and see what happens to Synergy. Now I'm actually kind of interested because now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of everybody trying to reveal, you know, the hologram of it all. And I'm kind of interested in it being larger than just a secret kept between her and her staff. So I'm intrigued as to how this is going to play out now. Now you have my attention. It's not just twisted, you know, Sybilness. Now, you know, we're getting third parties involved and there's a lot more at stake, I guess. You know, there's a lot more going on. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode. And I hope that they will deal with the Ashley situation sooner rather than later, like throw her out or something. Give her the misfits. Let them take care of her. I mean, she's practically living with them as it is and drinking water at the bar. And I hope that the music gets a little better. I miss doing my little lip syncs. But we'll see because I really don't remember what's coming up. Hopefully it'll be something where I can, you know, it's a song that I really enjoy off of my playlist. That would be cool. I hope you guys are enjoying these still, and I hope that you guys are taking my advice and really, you know, continuing to hold on to your joy and do things that you enjoy, whether it's laughing at these Gem videos or rewatching Gem or, you know, rewatching your favorite shows. Try to stay in that positivity as much as you can. It's as things just get crazier and crazier and more dire and more difficult, you have to make sure that you maintain yourself and maintain your joy and happiness. I'm not saying, you know, don't be upset and don't be sad and don't like grieve things and not to have fear. I'm just saying that you have to balance all of that also with having hope and being positive and keeping your mental state and your spiritual state and your physical state as healthy as you can so that you can be as healthy as you can be for yourself and for your friends and for your family and for strangers who may need your help or your support. That's how we're going to get through all of this, is because of each other, right? We can't rely on the outside to help us as much as we would like to. It's going to be about you and your friend and your neighbor and, you know, your core self, you know, being a good person. That's going to be more important than ever. And to be a good person, you got to be healthy. So please try to stay healthy in all realms, especially up here and in here, and just keep being amazing. I really appreciate all of your comments and all your laughs and everyone who keeps tuning in periodically to check out my content. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. I'm enjoying doing it.